Taylor Swift has reached a moment in her career where the release of singles ahead of a full album has become almost unnecessary, a fact that's evident as she prepares to unveil her newest project, The Life of a Showgirl, without any advanced singles to tease the collection. Observers at the latest music industry roundtable noted that Swift, now an artist with unparalleled cultural cachet and a fiercely loyal fan base, is moving in the same direction as a select group of other major acts who also choose to hold back singles, a strategy that would have been unthinkable in earlier eras of the music business. Instead, Swift's team has opted to keep every song under wraps until release day, turning the entire album into an event and encouraging listeners to experience it as a full body of work rather than cherry-picking a few tracks for radio play or streaming playlists. At a recent press briefing in Nashville, music publicists and label executives discussed how the traditional single-release cycle is losing relevance for artists of Swift's stature. One executive pointed out that in the past, singles were essential for building radio momentum and generating buzz. But today, an artist like Swift can dominate the conversation with nothing more than a cryptic Instagram post or a mysterious billboard in a major city. Her audience is so hungry for new content that even the smallest hint can send social media into a frenzy, which in turn drives anticipation for the album as a whole. The panel also recalled how, in earlier years, Swift would drop carefully selected singles that often set the tone for the entire album cycle. Think of We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, leading into Red, or Look What You Made Me Do, setting the stage for Reputation. But with Folklore, Evermore, and even Midnights, she shifted away from the single-first model, surprising fans with full albums or revealing only the barest details until release day. Critics and fans alike have noted that this approach changes the nature of the album experience. Rather than fixating on one or two radio hits, listeners are prompted to dive into the full record, discovering deep cuts and connecting with the project as a whole. Industry insiders say this strategy helps Swift maintain control over her narrative, preventing leaks and speculation that can sometimes overshadow the music itself. One radio programmer at the roundtable admitted that while stations would love to get advanced singles from Swift, they understand why she holds them back. Her releases are now cultural events, and the impact is often greater when everything arrives at once. The anticipation creates a sense of urgency and excitement, with fans rushing to streaming platforms at midnight to hear the new songs together for the first time. The discussion then turned to the broader trend of album-first releases among superstar artists. Beyoncé, for instance, famously reinvented the album drop with her unexpected 2013 visual album, and since then, other major acts have followed suit. Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and even Adele have all experimented with surprise releases or shortened promo cycles, reflecting the ways streaming and social media have changed the music landscape. Some at the panel argued that this strategy only works for the biggest names in the industry, those with the power to generate global headlines with a single tweet or Instagram story. For most artists, singles remain a crucial tool for building an audience and sustaining interest. But for Swift and her peers, the calculus is different. Every project becomes an immersive experience, with fans dissecting lyrics, theorizing about Easter eggs, and sharing their favorite moments in real time. The disappearance of the single also impacts traditional media coverage. Journalists used to receive advance copies of lead singles, giving them time to prepare reviews and features. Now, even critics must wait until the album drops, creating a level playing field where fans and writers experience the music together. This shift has changed the tenor of music journalism, with first impressions and hot takes dominating the conversation in the hours and days after release. It's a dynamic that rewards artists who can keep their music under wraps and control the timing of every reveal. Subscribe for more insights into how the industry is evolving. The roundtable also touched on the business side of album-first releases. Without singles, labels must adjust their marketing plans, focusing on building hype for the full project rather than pushing individual songs to radio or streaming playlists. This approach can be risky, but for artists like Swift, the payoff is enormous. The excitement surrounding a new album can drive massive first-week numbers, break streaming records, and dominate both the charts and the cultural conversation. One marketing executive pointed out that the absence of singles hasn't hurt Swift's commercial performance. In fact, it's often had the opposite effect. Her surprise albums have consistently posted huge sales and streaming numbers, proving that her audience is willing to show up for the full experience. The discussion then shifted to the impact on radio. While Swift's singles still perform well when they eventually reach radio programmers, the lack of advanced tracks means stations have to move quickly to add new songs once the album is out. This creates a scramble to identify which tracks will resonate with listeners, often leading to multiple songs charting simultaneously as fans gravitate toward their favorites. The panel noted that this trend reflects the new realities of a streaming-driven industry, where fans have more control over what becomes a hit. Rather than relying on a label to push one song at a time, listeners can choose their own standouts, shaping the charts in real time. The strategy of holding back singles also affects the fan experience. Instead of months of teasing and speculation about which song will be the lead single, fans are left to wonder what the album will sound like, what stories it will tell, and how it will fit into the artist's larger narrative. This creates an atmosphere of mystery and anticipation, with each new project feeling like an event. Music historians at the panel remarked on how this approach echoes earlier eras of music, when albums were often experienced in full, without the distraction of singles. They pointed to classic releases by the Beatles, Pink Floyd, and others, where the album was the main attraction. In the age of streaming, this philosophy has returned, with artists like Swift leading the charge. Subscribe for more stories about the evolution of music. The roundtable also considered whether this strategy would work for other artists. While it's effective for Swift and a handful of superstars, most musicians still rely on singles to build their profile and reach new listeners. For emerging acts, the single remains a vital promotional tool, allowing them to showcase their sound and connect with fans before committing to a full album. Even for established artists, singles can serve as a testing ground, helping them gauge audience reaction and refine their approach. But for Swift, the calculus has changed. Her brand is strong enough to carry an album without advanced singles, and her fans are eager to experience every track together. The panel agreed that this level of anticipation is rare, and few artists could replicate it. The conversation then turned to the creative implications of album-first releases. Without the pressure to craft a radio hit, artists can focus on making cohesive, ambitious projects that reward close listening. This can lead to more adventurous songwriting and production, as artists are free to explore new sounds and themes without worrying about commercial expectations. Swift's recent albums have been praised for their depth and complexity, qualities that might have been lost if she'd been forced to focus on singles. Critics at the roundtable said that this approach encourages listeners to engage with the music on a deeper level, discovering hidden meanings and connections that might be missed in a single-driven era. The panel also discussed the role of visuals in the absence of singles. With no advanced music videos or lyric clips, artists can build anticipation through album artwork, teaser trailers, and cryptic messages on social media. Swift has mastered this art, using carefully curated imagery and coded messages to hint at what's to come. Fans have become experts at decoding these clues, turning each album rollout into a communal event. The absence of singles also allows for more creative freedom in the visual presentation, as artists can craft a unified aesthetic that ties the project together. The roundtable participants noted that this approach can make the album feel like a complete work of art, rather than a collection of disparate tracks. The discussion then returned to the impact on the music industry as a whole. While Swift's strategy might not be feasible for everyone, it has forced labels, managers, and marketers to reconsider their approach to album releases. The rise of streaming and social media has given artists more control over their music, allowing them to bypass traditional gatekeepers and connect directly with fans. This shift has democratized the industry, making it possible for new voices to break through and for established acts to experiment with new release strategies. The panel concluded that while singles will always have a place in the music business, the age of the album is far from over. For artists like Swift, the power of a cohesive, surprise release can be transformative, creating moments that resonate far beyond the music itself. As the industry continues to evolve, it's likely that more artists will experiment with album-first releases, building excitement and anticipation in new and innovative ways. The conversation ended with a reflection on the unique position Swift occupies in the music world. Her ability to command attention without singles is a testament to her influence and the devotion of her fanbase. As she prepares to release the life of a showgirl, the eyes of the world are on her, waiting to see what surprises she has in store. Don't forget to hit subscribe to catch all the latest updates and analysis as this story unfolds. The roundtable wrapped up with a consensus that while Swift doesn't need singles to promote her albums, her strategy is likely to influence the industry for years to come. Other artists and labels are watching closely, eager to see how her approach shapes the future of music releases. As streaming continues to reshape the landscape, the line between album and single is blurring, giving artists new tools to connect with fans and tell their stories. For now, Swift stands at the forefront of this movement, redefining what it means to be a global superstar in the digital age. Her decision to forego singles ahead of the life of a showgirl is just the latest example of her willingness to break with tradition and blaze a new trail for others to follow. As fans and critics alike await the album's release, the excitement is palpable, and the world is watching to see what comes next. Stay tuned and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of Taylor Swift and the ever-changing world of music.